This is a continuation of my series on shock absorbers, particularly how to determine when they're bad and why should you replace them. If you watch the first couple videos that I did in this series, I explained the reasons why you should change them. And one of them was to prevent adverse wear on other suspension components on your car. I've seen this so many times, and so is the case with this W123 chassis here that's on the lift. The owner knew probably 2 years ago that his shocks were bad. I told him he should replace his shocks, and he said, well, you know, they're too expensive. I don't want to replace my shocks. Okay, it's your call. But he just started complaining about problems with noise when he braked the car. He'd hear a clunking noise, and the front end didn't feel real good. So we pulled it up in the air here and pulled the wheels, and sure enough, upper control arms are worn out. And I've noticed it, particularly on the 123 and 126 chassis, bad front shocks will usually cause worn out upper control arms, particularly this rubber here and the ball socket joint right on this end. Okay, check this out. These aren't even Bilstein shocks, but this gives new meaning to the word shot shock. One hand behind your back, you can move it up and down. We've got the old control arm out, and if you're having problems when you're braking, hearing a clunking sound, this may be the reason why. This upper ball joint can get loose, and that's the sound you'll hear when you're braking or going over really rough roads. Look at how loose that joint is. Now let's take a look at the other end. You can see the rubber's deteriorating on the other end. So there's two places that you really have to be concerned about. It'll be very hard to keep the front suspension aligned with that rubber on the inboard side wearing out. So if you're having uneven tire wear, this could be the problem right here. You may need to replace these upper control arms. Look, the joint is totally dry there. Okay, now let's compare that with a new one. How tight is that new joint? You can hardly even move it. Okay. These aren't too difficult to install unless you have a really rusty car.